now that Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming back from the darkness, to be held up into the light for HBO Max in 2021, it's going to give us, it might be the start, I think, of a new life for the cinematic Superman, right? Played, obviously, by Henry Cavill. I mean, because Henry Cavill is playing the Superman in that movie, and he was in on the watch-along party, the Man is Still watch-along party when it was announced, right? So, not only will Henry Cavill's Superman be seen once again in this Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I do think that it could be the start of more things to come. I'm sure you've seen the rumors online and other, like, there are multiple places that, you know, a deal could be closed soon with Henry Cavill to return as Superman beyond Zack Snyder's Justice League for more movie appearances. And given the fact that we're going to see his Superman again, and he was in on the video chat call, or, you know, the watch-along party, I think that's probably, I think that could be true, because this will be a good time for them to announce that he's coming back as Superman beyond Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because it would be, if that news came out, it would be met with such a wave of positivity from people that following up this Zack Snyder's Justice League announcement would be a rush of goodwill and good PR for the DCEU and Warner Brothers, right in the middle of them launching a new streaming service. From a marketing PR standpoint, it would be great. You know, it's like Zack Snyder's Justice League announced, Henry Cavill Superman returning announced. It's like boom, boom, boom. It will be a great time for them to do this, if this is indeed happening. But I do think that in a lot of ways it would make sense. Especially since, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to have Darkseid and the New Gods in it. If you know that much about DC Comics history, Darkseid and the New Gods first appeared in DC Comics in Superman stories. Like, they were linked originally to, you know, the Superman mythology. I've just started reading some of the old DC Comics where they first appeared. Darkseid's first appearance and Apocalyptian's first appearance were in, like, these old Jimmy Olsen comic books, and Superman was in those stories. Jimmy Olsen was, like, the lead character, but Superman would show up. And there's this storyline where it's complicated, but basically, Darkseid and the New Gods, all that stuff first, the seeds first started to be planted back in the, like, 1970s in Superman comics. Like, Superman is very in the mix. So it makes sense, you know, if a Superman resurgence came in the same movie, the same period, that we would see Darkseid and the New Gods in, you know, live action for the first time too, from a historical perspective. And I also think that because of those things, the things in Zack Snyder's Justice League, seeds could be planted to lead into a Man of Steel 2. Because, you know, we're seeing Henry Cavill Superman show up in Justice League 1. It would be the much long-awaited return of Henry Cavill Superman after a long absence. It will be a great time for Warner Brothers to structure it so that once you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League with Henry Cavill coming back, there would be like some kind of storyline thread planted for a Man of Steel 2. A movie a lot of us have wanted to see with Henry Cavill Superman come back. It would all make, I think, a lot of sense from a business and a PR standpoint, right? It would make audiences happy. It would build up anticipation for these things and make more people want to watch them with more enthusiasm. It makes a lot of sense. And I do wonder, you know, if that happens, how will Superman be portrayed? Because that's been the cause of some division. I, like a lot of other people, and I think Henry Cavill himself, we prefer, I guess, the more classic, you know, usually goody two-shoes kind of Superman. I know that's different from the kind of Superman that Zack Snyder put in Man of Steel and BVS. A Superman who's more unsure of himself and maybe is more darker. A lot of people think that Superman is dark. I didn't think that Superman was dark. I thought he was, like, depressed and brooding, but I never saw him as, like, you know, having a dark side. I saw him as just being someone who was, like, burdened and depressed. But, you know, opinions vary. A lot of people think that it was a Superman with some darkness in him, a little bit of edge. So it'll be interesting to see that if Superman does come back beyond Zack Snyder's Justice League to be in more movies, how he will be written and portrayed, right? Are they going to make him, because a lot of fans want that classic, goody two-shoes Superman back, but that hasn't been really, or the more confident, bright, and shiny Superman, but that hasn't been the way Zack Snyder has made Superman. And there's a large contingent of Zack Snyder fans and DC fans who like, Zack Snyder's way of doing Superman. Not so much the bright and shiny Superman, the more, I guess, gritty, real world kind of Superman. So I do think we're going to get Superman back again, and maybe, like this, played by Henry Cavill, riding this wave of positivity from a PR standpoint. But if that happens, I am very curious to see how he will be portrayed. I think that it's possible that what Zack Snyder was trying to set up in his 5-movie arc or whatever was for Superman to start out unsure of himself or rookie and not be confident, and evolve into the more traditional Superman by getting more experience. And I think he's even said that, or we've seen it online. That might have been his overall point. So I'm thinking maybe he's trying to get there. And he will get there if we're allowed to see, Justice League 1, 2, Man of Steel 2, if they're all going to lead into each other and kind of connect to each other. But I don't know. I mean, as you probably can tell if you've watched my channel for a long time, I'm a big Superman fan. I like the character. That's why I've made a lot of Superman-centric videos. And this has got me thinking, what does all this mean for the future of Superman on film, and how he will be presented to us on that screen? What are your opinions? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.